Let's get started with our first news. Robert Whittaker believes Islam Makhachev would beat prime George St. Pierre in a hypothetical matchup. GSP is widely regarded as the greatest welterweight of all time, and even briefly captured the middleweight title, while Islam has now become a two-division UFC champion. Speaking on his latest MMA Arcade podcast, Whittaker broke down the fight and explained why he thinks Islam would come out on top. Prime GSP versus Islam Makhachev, that's tricky. At welterweight, both guys have amazing games, Whittaker said. GSP's got a full toolbox. He can wrestle, grapple, and strike with precision. Islam, on the other hand, has this springy, karate-esque style, loves shooting for takedowns, striking from the outside, and thrives in scrambles. He's got top-tier jiu-jitsu and amazing cardio for high-paced fights. Whittaker continued, "Honestly, I think Islam would get it done. If the fight turns into a scramble or a wrestling battle, Islam is built for that. He'll get you down and you ain't getting back up, whereas GSP would use the full MMA toolkit to control the fight. Wrestle, stand back up, strike, and repeat. Islam just has that relentless style. If it comes to grappling and scrambles, he'll dominate, much like how Jama would handle similar situations." He added, "GSP's game is brilliant, utilizing wrestling and striking to wear opponents down. But Islam has that specific edge. He's comfortable in chaos, and his ground game is extremely dangerous. If he gets the fight to the ground, it's almost over before you know it." Whittaker's breakdown makes it clear that he sees Islam Makhachev's specialized skills, scrambles, and relentless grappling as the deciding factors that would give him the advantage over the legendary GSP, making this a fascinating what-if scenario for MMA fans everywhere. Move on to another news. Max Holloway has slammed Arman after the recent weigh-in incident at UFC Car, where Arman headbutted Dan Hooker, sparking major backlash. The move could have even jeopardized the fight if Hooker had been cut. Speaking on a recent livestream, Holloway didn't hold back, calling Arman's action really stupid. "That's stupid. You're not getting paid at weigh-ins, you're getting paid to fight. Imagine you hurt your guy before the fight. The fight is off, bro. You gotta be really stupid to do something like that. Lose your pay for what? Letting emotions get the better of you for a little bit? So stupid," Holloway said, making it clear that fighters need to stay professional at all times, especially during tense pre-fight moments. Holloway also appeared on the Korean Zombies podcast, where he doubled down on his confidence, saying he still believes he's the best boxer in the UFC, despite his knockout loss to Ilia. "I think a lot of people are gonna tell me, like, you're not this, you're not that, because of the fight with Ilia. But it is what it is, bro. That's your problem. If you don't think I'm the best boxer in the UFC, that's something you need to take up with yourself. When I look in the mirror, I tell myself I'm the best boxer in the UFC, and that's why I'm one of the best fighters in the world," he said. Holloway stressed the importance of self-confidence, pointing out that online critics and internet trolls can't shake him. "You just need self-confidence. That's what it is. No internet guy that lives with his mom talking to me on his mom's internet is ever gonna shake me. People ask why I reply to them. It's funny, you know? I love a little drama here and there, talking back, but it is what it is. Half of these guys don't even have real pictures out there, and they don't even use their real names. Their self-confidence is not where it needs to be. So, I am who I am," Holloway concluded, leaving no doubt about his unwavering belief in himself. Max's comments serve as both a warning to fighters to stay composed and a statement about his own mindset. Focused, confident, and unbothered by outside noise, proving why he remains a top figure in the UFC and a fighter to respect both inside and outside the octagon. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev returned home to Dagestan on Sunday following his dominant UFC 322 win over JDM. Speaking to the media at the airport, Islam discussed potential opponents for his first welterweight title defense, making it clear that he is focused and strategic about his next steps in the UFC. Addressing Ian Garry's recent call-out, Islam was measured but firm. He admitted that he wasn't particularly impressed with Garry's performance over the weekend. Yet, he didn't completely rule out a matchup. Garry is a tough fighter, but honestly, I didn't see anything in his last fight that makes me overly concerned. That said, we never know how things can line up, so I wouldn't completely dismiss it, Islam said, showing both respect and calculated caution. Islam also mentioned Shavkat Rakhmonov as another potential challenger. He stated that he would accept that fight, but he acknowledged the UFC might hesitate to grant Rakhmonov a title shot due to his inactivity. Shafkoat is a talented fighter, and I would fight him if the UFC says so. But the company has to consider his activity and timing. It's all about what makes sense for the division, Islam explained, emphasizing his professional approach to matchmaking and title defenses. Of course, Islam was asked about the possibility of a super fight with Ilia. He didn't completely close the door, but made it clear that it would take a very significant offer from the UFC for him to move up and face Ilia at 155 pounds. Ilia is a great fighter, but a fight like that requires serious planning and the right conditions. If the UFC brings the right offer, then we can talk. Otherwise, my focus is on defending my title where I belong, Islam stated, underscoring his commitment to staying at the top of his division while being open to high-profile opportunities. Throughout the media session, Islam came across as calm, confident, and in full control of his career path. His responses highlighted a fighter who is not easily swayed by hype or external pressure. He is clearly focused on maintaining his championship reign while remaining open to challenges that make sense strategically. Fans can expect Islam to continue asserting his dominance in the UFC welterweight division, carefully choosing fights that enhance both his legacy and the division as a whole, while leaving the door open for high-stakes matchups against top contenders like Garry, Rakhmonov, and even Ilia in the future. Move on to another news. Darren Till just went off on Ian Garry following Garry's recent altercation with Khamzat Chimaev, leaving no punches pulled. Posting on X, Till acknowledged that Garry is a very good fighter, but he didn't hold back on his thoughts about Garry's personality and how he carries himself in public. Ian Garry is such a good fighter, man. But by God, is he possibly the fakest human on earth? Fake beyond all belief. It's so hard to like him, Till wrote, making it clear that his frustration goes beyond the octagon. He continued, I've literally sat in my bedroom with my own little demons in my head, telling me to force myself to like him. He was calling Khamzat a child, but that whole interaction was fake. You could see it in how he acted. And when Ian turned, you could see he was scared. Khamzat is like me. That's why we were best mates. Till didn't stop there, highlighting the contrast between Garry's in-cage talent and his outside behavior. Ian is a really good fighter, but he's just so unlikable. So unlikable. Even hating on Leon's performance the way he did. Garry got kicked out of that gym, just like he did of others, because he's not real at the end of the day. As much as he's a good fighter and I've tried to support him, Garry is just a proper fake, Till explained, emphasizing the disconnect between skill and character. He made it clear that respect in the MMA world extends beyond performance inside the cage. Talent only gets you so far. If you can't carry yourself with authenticity and respect, people are going to see through it. Ian may have the skills, but when it comes to being a genuine person, he's miles away from it, Till added, expressing his disappointment in Garry's public persona. Till's rant reflects the passion and intensity that MMA fighters bring not only to their fights, but also to their opinions about the sport and its athletes. His comments serve as both a critique of Garry's behavior and a reminder that in the fight world, character and respect carry as much weight as winning bouts. Fans witnessed a raw and unfiltered Darren Till, willing to call out what he sees as fakery, while acknowledging that skill alone doesn't earn universal respect in MMA. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley doesn't believe the UFC will book a fight between Arman and Ilia, despite Arman's impressive win over Dan Hooker. In a new video on his YouTube channel, O'Malley broke down Arman's performance and shared his thoughts on what could be next for the rising contender. While Arman showcased his skill and dominance inside the octagon, O'Malley thinks the UFC may deliberately avoid matching him with Ilia in order to protect Ilia's title reign. Arman is no joke, man. Arman versus Ilia is an interesting matchup. I don't think the UFC will make it because I think they love Ilia as a champion. He's a great champion. And I don't think they really want Arman to become champion just yet, O'Malley explained. He highlighted that Arman has a legitimate chance of beating Ilia, making the matchup one the UFC might hesitate to book due to the high stakes involved. O'Malley went on to acknowledge the dangerous skill set of both fighters. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Ilia might knock him out. That's how good Ilia is. But if anyone has a chance of beating Ilia at 155, it's Arman. He's just that talented and calculated inside the octagon. Arman is smart, strong, and technical, and he doesn't make mistakes. That's what makes him a serious threat to anyone in the division. Despite his respect for Ilia, O'Malley's comments highlighted the excitement that Arman brings as a contender who can challenge the champion. Arman versus Ilia would be a fantastic fight, full of action, strategy, and skill. It's a fight fans want to see because both guys are capable of finishing fights in multiple ways. But it's also the kind of fight the UFC might avoid because the risk is so high for the champion's legacy, O'Malley added. O'Malley's breakdown shows a clear understanding of the politics and matchmaking strategy in the UFC. While Arman continues to rise and prove his skills inside the octagon, the UFC may strategically steer him toward other high-profile matchups before giving him a title shot against Ilia. Fans can expect Arman to keep dominating his division, while speculation continues about when and if a fight with Ilia will ever happen. O'Malley's analysis captures the tension between pure competition and the UFC's business considerations, showing how talent, timing, and championship stakes all play a role in matchmaking decisions. Move on to another news. Khamzat Chimaev made headlines after a heated altercation with Ian Garry at the UFC Qatar Fighter Hotel. What initially seemed like a friendly encounter quickly escalated into a physical confrontation. Ian approached Khamzat in a playful manner, grabbing him from behind as a sort of friendly greeting. The gesture, however, was more physical than necessary, and the undefeated Chechen didn't take kindly to it. As Garry walked away, Khamzat slapped him on the back. Not aggressively at first, but with a clear undertone of intensity. Words were exchanged, and the situation escalated when Khamzat pushed Garry, telling him he'd F him up. Security immediately intervened and separated the two before things got worse, keeping the incident contained but leaving plenty of buzz around the fighters. Dana White finally addressed the situation, sharing his perspective on the repeated hotel hallway incidents that seemed to follow Khamzat. UFC staff and matchmakers are getting tired of these hotel hallway incidents. It keeps happening card after card, with Khamzat being at the center of attention way too many times, Dana said, making it clear that the organization is frustrated with repeated disruptions. He also hinted that there were additional backstage issues that the public hasn't seen yet, suggesting the situation was more serious than what appeared on camera. Garry, coming off an impressive win over Belal Muhammad, has been vocal in interviews, using the momentum to call out Islam Makhachev and push for a title shot. Riding a two-fight win streak over Protest and Belal, Garry feels justified in his ambition, adding context to his interactions with other fighters like Khamzat. Dana continued, explaining the UFC's perspective on the altercation. They had that run-in at the hotel. There was so much bad that happened behind the scenes with that thing. Yeah, not good. The matchmakers aren't big fans of him for many different reasons. I don't even know how we stopped it, but we didn't do a good job of not letting it happen, he said, highlighting both the unpredictability of fighters' behavior and the challenges of managing high-profile athletes. The incident emphasizes the tension and drama that can unfold outside the octagon, showing that even champions and top contenders can find themselves in heated confrontations when emotions run high. Khamzat's intensity, combined with Garry's ambition, made for a volatile moment that the UFC is clearly keen to prevent in the future, underscoring the delicate balance of professionalism, competition, and personality in the fight world. Move on to another news. Arman fired back at Ilia over a new video circulating online that claimed he had been slapped during a post-fight altercation. The footage showed the two coming head-to-head backstage, but despite their supposed bitter rivalry, the interaction appeared relatively friendly. Ilia shared the clip, captioning it, "Arman, every time we see each other in person, you freeze up like a scared duck with no idea what to do. You know I handle you however I want. I fight whoever the UFC chooses. And remember, I slapped you and you just laughed. Then you go around acting like a gangster. So keep going. You're on the right path. Just a few levels below me, kid." Arman quickly took to social media to dispute the claim, shutting down Ilia's narrative with humor and confidence. "Bro, you touched my neck like we were taking a family photo, and now you're calling it a slap online," Arman wrote. "The clip is clear. Your insecurities are even clearer. I don't need to act tough for Twitter. My work is inside the cage. If you want to know what a real slap feels like, I'll be happy to educate you. See you soon, Elp." The exchange highlights the ongoing tension between Arman and Ilia, but it also underscores Arman's calm and confident approach. While Ilia tried to make the moment look aggressive, Arman maintained control. turning the narrative back on his rival and reminding fans that his reputation is built in the octagon, not on social media. Arman's response was sharp, measured, and unmistakably confident, showing that he doesn't need to play into theatrics to dominance. The rivalry between Arman and Ilia continues to capture attention, but Arman made it clear that when it comes to real action, his skills and work inside the cage speak louder than any online claim or post-fight video. The situation adds another chapter to their ongoing saga, with Arman standing firm as both professional and formidable.